Alright, this video is going to look at how to write numbers in the written form. Standard form, there's already a video for. We're going to look at the written form. We're going to start off first with a huge number, 329,417,650,812. Now this looks like a big number, and it will definitely take a long time to write it out, but that doesn't mean that it's complicated or that it's extra challenging. I'm going to show you a way to break this down. What you're going to do is you're going to start off with the first set of numbers before the comma. And you're just going to write out those numbers like they were the only numbers in the world. So, 329. Notice how I'm not cheating and I'm not putting numbers in there. I'm actually writing out the numbers. That's important. Now I'm going to do the next section. I'm going to scoot over because I'm going to run out of room, I can tell. 417. I'm going to go on to the next section. You notice how I'm starting a different section on each line. And I'll show you why that's happening in a minute. Not only because this whiteboard is short, but also for another reason. I'm going to move on to 650. Notice that I'm not putting and in there. There's no ands that belong in here yet. And to the last one, I'm going to put all the way down here, 812. Now I'm not done. I've written all these out and I'm almost there. Because this is just 812, I don't need to do anything with this. But because this is 650,000, because it's in this first comma area, I'm just going to write 1,000 after that section and then put a comma. Because this is in the millions section, I'm just going to write millions after that section and then put a comma after. Because this is in the billions, I'm going to write billions and then put a comma after, and now I have my entire number written out. 329 billion, well, I put S's after, that probably shouldn't happen. My apologies. 329,417,650,812. That is the number written out. You're done. Now, some teachers might want you to write it out so that it goes in, so that there's not all these line breaks in there. I don't necessarily mind so much one way or the other, as long as you get the number written out. And if that's what works for you, that's what works for you. Now that we've got that as an example, now we're going to look at how to include decimals. So let's say we have 542 and 63 hundredths. Now, to write this out, we're going to start by writing out the numbers before the decimal. $542. Decimal means and. So when you see the decimal, that's when you write and. Now we're going to write out this number, 63. And because 63 ends at this place value, that's what we're going to put at the end of that word. Not millions, not hundreds, but we're actually looking at, there's no oneths place in decimals. There is a tenths and a hundredths. So I'm going to write 63 hundredths. And that TH at the end is very important. But now you'll see that I have written out 542 and 63 hundredths. Let's take a look at one more. 61 and 78 thousandths. So first I'm going to write 61, and you don't have to put the and on a separate line. This time I'm going to write it right here, and for the decimal. There's a 0 there. That's not an invisible 0. That one's very important. But we're not going to write the 0. We're just going to write 71, 78. That's not a 1. Now we have to look at what place value this ends at. This ends at 1, 2, 3, so that's tenths, hundredths, thousandths. And the way that I remember that there's no oneths, is sometimes I'll count the decimal. I'll say oneths, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, because a lot of kids will try to put a once here and it doesn't exist. So if it helps you to think of the decimal as that, whatever works best for you.